Hey there, I'm the Madcatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, the Ace family made a video just the other day, and they're claiming that they accidentally made a documentary, which sounds a little sus to me, doesn't it to you? We're going to talk about it right now, so buckle up and let's go. So I'm here with Sybil the Enforcer, and Sybil says, please like and subscribe. We're almost to 19,000. We're still trying to get there, so I need your help. So please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Anyway, so the Ace family made an interesting video that they just recently posted. And it's really it's such a weird video because they talk in circles and you're not really sure what the heck they're going to say. And so they claim that they've made this documentary that they're releasing, but they claim that they didn't film it as a documentary and that they tried to make it sound like they got scraps of video from here and there, and people just happened to be recording things when that day of the fight, that failed fight that went on last fall or last end of summer. First of all, I find that hard to believe, okay? Because we saw a video of Austin doing his training and running along with the golf cart, and it was all done intentionally for content. So I find it hard to believe that they didn't intend to make this documentary. What I think happened is they made the documentary and they were thinking that Austin was going to win against Gibb last year, and that they would then dovetail in and bring out this documentary and sort of kind of have a wave of success that he could ride. Well, of course, that all fell apart. And so I think they've now decided, well, we're going to release the documentary anyways, and I'll let you see a few clips because you can judge for yourselves. It's so weird. And towards the end, you'll see Catherine basically shuts Austin down and almost pushes him out of the screen to take over the video. But watch a couple of clips here.
We share basically everything.
We do share a lot. And I feel like this news it's not really news. It's more like us kind of coming together and deciding okay, this is a good time to finally share this, because we believe that everything has its own time. Everything's already written, but it's just a matter of really finding the right opportunity to speak about certain things. So if you want to go ahead and take it from here and explain.
So Ace Family, it took me 6 months to convince myself that it was okay to share my experience of what happened to me the night of the fight.
So Austin's saying that it took 6 months for him to finally get to a point where he could talk about what happened the night of the fight. So apparently now that this thing is ready to go, he feels comfortable enough to release it.
For you guys, a lot of you guys may not even, that happened so why, such a long time ago, why are you sharing this now? Why is this important? This and that. And the truth is that while this was happening, in those moments, those were some of the hardest times of our lives. Some of the most life-changing experiences, some of the most it was literally divine intervention. And I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
So Catherine's saying that the day of the fight, or the things that happened that day of the fight, was divine intervention, and it was the most trying time of their lives. And it's with all the crap that they've had going on, that day of that fight was the most trying times of their lives. I don't know.
Nobody knows what actually happened.
That's the perfect word to use, is that that night was a movie. And the fact that no one knows besides
us,
family, and my team is pretty crazy to think about.
And I'm so proud of you.
So they claim that that night was a movie. So you see where this is going. And again, they're being really cryptic. They're not coming out and saying exactly what it is they're talking about. It's not until towards the end that they finally say that it's a documentary. But yes, it was a movie because you made a movie. Some of this I'm not even going to play because Catherine is slinging the F-bombs left and right, and the average age of their fan group, it's so inappropriate, that they do this with every video lately. They just F this, F that, S this, S that.
I know we're kind of saying something without saying something, but to sum it all up, my team and I have been filming a short documentary for you guys about the day of the fight and what I experienced. And so today we have the trailer to this documentary, and the full documentary will come out next week. But I want to obviously share with you guys here first.
So now they finally say what it is. So he and his team have been filming this documentary. Well, you can't be filming stuff that happened 6 months ago. So you had to have done most of the filming 6 months ago. I can understand he's probably talks throughout it that you could film now, and finally they get to it. We're going to see the trailer to the big anticipated movie.
I would like to let them know something though. You said we were filming a documentary. That is true, but I do want to say that the footage that was from 6 months ago was not planned to be a documentary. We just so happened, by the grace of God, to have some footage, but we were not actually filming that day like that. It just so happens that there was camera people that happened to get certain shots and certain reactions and certain things, but we were not filming that because we were living in the present moment. We were going through a really, really hard time.
So Catherine claims that they're filming stuff now, but the stuff that was filmed 6 months ago wasn't meant to be a documentary. It's like, well, from some of the clips of things that I saw, it looked to me like they were very intentionally filming everything that went on that day, and it was nonstop. So it's not like they accidentally have footage they were able to grab from a few places and pull it together and make a documentary. They, very much in my opinion, they were filming on purpose, capturing everything that happened that day. So this is no, afterthought kind of a project.
And the camera wasn't even like an idea. Like, you know me, like I love to film, like I love to get content for you guys. I wasn't even thinking about no filming. I wasn't grabbing my phone. My phone was dead like the whole entire day. Like I wasn't even, if you guys actually think back at that time, that day of the event, you didn't even see me filming.
And Catherine says they were living in the moment and the camera wasn't even an idea. Well, if you have a film crew filming everything that's going on with you that day, the camera doesn't need to be an idea because you don't have to worry about it. You've got a crew doing that. So whether or not she's got her iPhone out filming something is irrelevant to the fact that they had a crew filming everything that was going on.
I wasn't filming nothing because I was living in the moment. If you guys also noticed, that day Austin didn't do any interviews at all. No interviews. So everything kind of makes sense.
Okay, we're saying a little too much, but
oh my God. Get on with it. Enough with the trying to make excuses for why you've suddenly got this documentary and making it sound like you didn't intend for it to happen. We know it's BS.
I do want to say that anyone who experienced what I went through or would have experienced what I went through would have
announced it right away.
Spoke about it immediately, right away.
So I'm not saying that it wasn't an emotional day or a difficult day. I'm sure it was. So, that's not what I'm saying, but all of this act about, other people, if they were me, they would have put this stuff out there right away. It's like the reason why he didn't want to put this stuff out there was because he was humiliated from his loss to Gibb. So I'm sure the furthest thing from his mind at that point was, let's put out a film about what happened that day. And so you can remind me of my failure again. And like I said before, I think it's taken 6 months for him to get comfortable enough and for them to realize, we have some content here. We should put this together and put it out there.
Which I don't even think you were ever going to speak up about it ever, right? Like it just so happens that at 6 months now you're deciding to because of what's leading up to what's happening now. But exactly. I don't even think, I remember like when it first happened, you're like, I'm just never going to talk about it. Austin kind of like coming into this whole boxing industry was really not only as like the main card, as the showman, but also the promoter and the orchestrator of it. People don't realize like so much goes into this, so much. And I've seen it all. I've seen everything.
So maybe they didn't realize how much went into it, but I think those of us standing on the sidelines, and we've talked about all of the aspects of putting these things together in these videos that I've done, and I think it's pretty clear to most people that, yes, there's a lot that goes into the promotion, everything, and they try to take everything on themselves. They do this over and over again, and what ends up happening is it's way too much for them to handle. They can't handle it, and they just, for some reason, can't seem to delegate to the professionals to try to make these things come off smoothly. So, yes, they may not have realized it, but we realized it.
I'm in a good place now where I feel that it's okay regardless of what anyone thinks.
He's taught me that. Like I started off, years ago caring too much what people thought and like reading all the comments and getting myself all, flustered and upset and like he's taught me that, and now I'm in a place now where I don't give a shit. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. Like I just don't care.
So Catherine's talking about how, she used to be bothered by what people thought. And now she just doesn't give a crap. So, I think that's been pretty evident for a while now. Just that all of the things that have happened, they really just don't care. They're so focused in on themselves that they really just don't care who it affects, how it affects other people. They're really just caring about how it affects them, and that's it.
That trailer is like a movie trailer. Mm-hmm. It really is. Like,
but now we want to know what the hell happened.
I know. We're going to give it to them.
What the hell happened?
Only if you knew. You know what I mean?
So
now you guys are gonna know.
Only if you know what I went through. This documentary is not even about me, and I'm like, shit, can we share my part? Shit.
Yeah.
I went through a lot.
You did, and I want to thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
It's part of my awakening.
For being there for me. You and my mother.
It's part of my ego death.
You and my mother were there for me that night.
It's part of who I am today.
Listen, can you listen?
Just fucking like, I went through some shit.
You did, and
in the last like 5 years of my life, but particularly in the last.
But I appreciate you.
Now, I didn't show you the trailer because I don't want them to, who knows what kind of crap they'd pull, but also it's really very, very jumpy clip. So it doesn't really tell any kind of a story. It's just, meant to entice you. Of course, it's a trailer. But, I mean, obviously it's for promotion. They're like, oh, you got to tune in to find out what happens. And it's like, oh, let me bite my nails and sit on the edge of my seat to find out what happens. We know what happens. So, it's not like there's some cliffhanger of a moment that's going to come. We know the ultimate outcome of this thing. So this was the part of the video that was really, almost uncomfortable to watch. It's like Catherine's like basically edging Austin out, and it's like, well, what about me? What about me? And I'm sure it's tough on both of them, but she's not the one that got humiliated in the ring, or the one that had to deal with the actual fight. So yeah, I mean, of course, her viewpoint is valid, but at this point of the video, she's basically overshadowing Austin, and it almost seems a little rude. And he kind of, at one point, I can almost see like the aggravation on his face, but he doesn't really display it openly.
Behind a king, there's always a queen. Nice. Bigger and stronger, more powerful.
Yeah, so I'm closing my eyes right now, guys, because I don't want.
Symbolically, the queen, the chess piece in chess, the queen makes all the moves, can make all the moves. So the queen. I'm just kidding.
And of course, then she turns it to the queen. The queen, like, I'm the queen and I'm the one that has all the power. So, I mean, I don't know. We've debated this back and forth of which one of them's pulling the strings. I've always kind of thought it was Catherine. A lot of people always tell me they think it's Austin, but I don't know. I don't know that he's that bright, in my opinion. I think that a lot of the times it's Catherine that's behind a lot of these things, but, only they know. So that's the gist of it. Now, there's a couple of moments there where Austin looked like he got a little choked up. And again, I'm sure that it was emotional. I'm sure he's emotional about it. But, the thing that is bothering me in this video is they're trying to play it off like, oh, people happen to have video footage and, we happen to have enough stuff to put together a documentary, but we didn't intend to make a documentary. And, it's just now that we're thinking about it. It's like, I don't think that's the case. Again, like I said, I think that, they clearly had people filming everything that was going on while he was training, the day of the fight. All of this stuff was pre-thought out. And the video footage that was made clearly was made intentionally. So I'm sure the idea of a documentary existed back when this fight happened. They just didn't happen to put it together. Again, because I think it was such a stinging and humiliating loss for Austin that he probably just didn't want to deal with it. And now that things have settled down, they realize they've got content there and that they may get, some monetary gain out of it. So now they're putting it together and they're going to put it out there. Haven't decided yet whether I'm going to actually watch it, because I know it's just going to be a puff piece, and I'm not a fan, so I don't know that I need to watch it. But let me know down in the comments if you want me to watch it and give a critique. I'd be happy to do it if enough people want me to. But otherwise, that's it. Tell me what you think. Do you really think that this is accidental, that they just happen to decide now they're going to make a documentary without any pre-planning for it? Let me know. Thank you so much to our Patreon patrons. Without your support, we couldn't do it. And without our channel members, we couldn't do it. If you're not a channel member, think about signing up. Think about becoming a Patreon patron. Please check your subscription status and your notifications, because I've had more people now telling me that somehow they got unsubscribed from the channel or their notifications got turned off. And that kind of aggravates me, because I don't know. I know I'm not the only person that's brought this up in terms of people making content. I know I've heard others talk about it, so I don't know what YouTube is doing. But please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you've got your notifications turned on. Please like and leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. I did thank someone from the Amazon wishlist in my video from yesterday, but not a lot of people have watched it. I decided to do something different where I'm covering like some really bizarre subreddit threads on Reddit, and some bizarre stuff that people talk about. And my first one is a video about, it's called Confidently Incorrect, where people insist they know what the facts are and they definitely do not. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. I'll leave a link down below. It's a change of pace and it's really lighthearted, but I want to thank Dafan P for sending us the Blue Buffalo canned cat food. Thank you so much. The cats really appreciate it. They really love it. I usually feed them Friskies canned food, and so this is like a treat and a change for them. But thank you so much. I have updated the wish list. If you would like to send something for the cats, the list is down below. The link is down below, and I will happily give you a shout out. Also, be on the lookout for my Totally Gnarly podcast, which I hope to film the first episode this week. I think I've got everything I need to get set up, but be on the lookout for that. Should be interesting. We may try doing some live ones, and I may invite some guests on. So we'll see how it develops. But in the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.